Picture this, a colossal gateway to humanity's ancient wonders, finally swinging open after years of anticipation. The Grand Egyptian Museum is unveiling its treasures, promising to ignite imaginations and spark global fascination. But here's where it gets intriguing. This isn't just about dusty relics. It's a bold bid to revive Egypt's fortunes in a world still reeling from economic woes and political storms. Let's dive in and explore what makes this moment so monumental and why it's stirring up debates that could divide opinions everywhere. On Saturday, Egypt celebrated the official launch of the long-awaited Grand Egyptian Museum, perched right by the iconic Giza Pyramids. Dubbed the world's largest museum devoted to a single ancient civilization, this ambitious undertaking isn't merely a showcase of history. It's a strategic maneuver to rejuvenate the nation's tourism sector and bolster its struggling economy. Spanning 2 decades of planning and construction, GEM stands as a beacon of resilience, emerging from the shadows of delays caused by revolutions and global conflicts. Nestled near the legendary pyramids and the enigmatic Sphinx, the museum houses an astounding collection of over 50,000 artifacts that paint a vivid picture of daily life in ancient Egypt. For the first time ever, the complete trove of treasures from the tomb of the legendary King Tutankhamun, unearthed in 1922, will be on full display. Imagine wandering through halls filled with chariots, golden thrones, and intricate masks that whisper stories of a boy king who ruled from 1361 to 1352 BC. This new setup replaces the cramped, century-old Egyptian museum in downtown Cairo, which simply couldn't accommodate the sheer volume of Egypt's rich antiquities. To help beginners visualize, think of it like upgrading from a cluttered attic to a spacious gallery where each item can breathe and tell its tale without being overshadowed. The grand opening ceremony drew an impressive lineup of world leaders, monarchs, presidents, and prime ministers, flocking to Cairo. Egypt's president's office hailed it as an exceptional event in the history of human culture and civilization. President Abdel-Fattah el-Sissi himself took to social media to express his enthusiasm. This museum unites the brilliance of ancient Egyptians with the innovation of our modern counterparts, enriching global culture and art with a stunning new landmark that beckons all who value civilization and knowledge. It's a poetic nod to Egypt's enduring legacy, blending past genius with present-day creativity. GEM, or the Grand Egyptian Museum, is just one of several colossal projects championed by el-Sissi since his rise to power in 2014. Amidst an economy weighed down by years of stagnation and the chaos of the 2011 Arab Spring uprising, these initiatives pour massive investments into infrastructure to breathe new life into the nation. Egyptian businessman and GEM board member Sir Mohammed Mansour predicts an annual influx of 5 million visitors, putting it on par with global giants like Paris's Louvre, which welcomed 8.7 million in 2024, London's British Museum, 6.5 million, and New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art, 5.7 million. It's going to have a huge impact on the economy, Mansour shared with the Associated Press, highlighting how such attractions can fuel growth. For those new to this, consider how tourism dollars trickle down. Every visit boosts local jobs, from hotel staff to souvenir sellers, creating a ripple effect that strengthens communities. The excitement kicked off with a dazzling spectacle. On Friday night, swarms of drones lit up the Cairo sky, with formations mimicking King Tut's iconic mask and chariot, accompanied by Egyptian pop tunes featuring animated pharaonic statues dancing to the beat. A public holiday was declared for Saturday, with heightened security measures in place. In the museum's courtyard, a stage hosted what media dubbed a global symphony of humanity, featuring orchestral performances to celebrate the occasion. After being partially accessible since last year, GEM closed for 2 weeks of final tweaks to ensure perfection. And this is the part most people miss. The museum's design itself is a marvel, mirroring the triangular majesty of the nearby pyramids with a towering glass facade. Covering a vast 24,000 square meters, about 258,000 square feet. It features permanent exhibition spaces that guide visitors through time. Step inside, and you're greeted by a monumental granite statue of Ramses the Great, one of Egypt's mightiest pharaohs, who reigned for roughly 60 years, from 1279 BC to 1213 BC. His conquests stretched Egypt's influence eastward to what is now Syria and southward to Sudan, showcasing his as a warrior king who expanded empires. From there, a grand 6-story staircase, flanked by ancient statues, ascends to the main galleries, offering breathtaking views of the pyramids. A convenient bridge connects the museum to these wonders, letting tourists stroll or ride electric vehicles between them. The museum's 12 primary galleries, already open since last year, organize artifacts thematically and chronologically, from prehistoric eras to the Roman period. But the grand opening introduces 2 brand new halls exclusively for King Tutankhamun's 5,000-plus items. Discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922 in Luxor's Valley of the Kings, this collection was previously scattered due to space constraints in the old museum. Some pieces even toured abroad. Now, visitors can admire the boy pharaoh's 3 ornate funeral beds, 6 chariots, golden throne, gold-encased sarcophagus, and his famous burial mask, crafted from gold, quartzite, lapis lazuli, and vibrant glass. Renowned archaeologist Zahi Hawass, Egypt's former Antiquities minister, calls the Tutankhamun exhibit the museum's crown jewel. Why is everyone so eager for this opening? Because of Tutankhamun, he told the Associated Press, emphasizing how this young ruler's story, a teen pharaoh amid political intrigue, captivates the world. Officials are counting on GEM to lure more tourists who linger longer, injecting vital foreign currency into Egypt's economy. The surrounding area has been transformed with new highways, a nearby metro station, and Sphinx International Airport, just 40 minutes away. Tourism, battered by post-Arab Spring unrest and recent global upheavals like the coronavirus pandemic and Russia's war in Ukraine, key tourist sources, is rebounding. In 2024, Egypt welcomed a record 15.7 million visitors, contributing roughly 8% to GDP, with hopes of hitting 18 million this year and 30 million annually by 2032. Tourism and Antiquities Minister Sharif Fathi envisions a brighter future. Tour guide Walid El-Batouti adds that it's not just the museum benefiting. Every cab ride or snack purchase by visitors feeds money back into the economy, creating jobs and prosperity. GM swings its doors to the public on November the 4th, marking the anniversary of Carter's groundbreaking discovery. It's a date that symbolizes the bridge between past and present. Yet here's where controversy creeps in. Critics might argue that pouring billions into a museum amid economic hardships and social needs could be seen as prioritizing spectacle over substance. Is this a noble investment in cultural heritage, or an extravagant gamble that diverts funds from pressing issues like poverty and infrastructure for everyday Egyptians? And what about the ethics of showcasing treasures that some view as rightfully belonging to global humanity versus national pride? These questions spark heated debates. Does reviving tourism justify the costs, or should resources focus on internal reforms first? What do you think? Is the Grand Egyptian Museum a triumph of human ingenuity and preservation, or a flashy diversion in a time of need? Do you agree that tourism is the key to Egypt's economic revival, or should priorities shift elsewhere? Share your opinions in the comments. Let's discuss. Associated Press journalist Ahmed Hatem in Cairo contributed to this report.